Motorcycles took to the streets today as they've done on any other beautiful Sunday afternoon. But this time there was a powerful motive behind their ride. More than 1,000 police officers came together this afternoon in memory of former East Hartford police officer Brian Asselton. 4 months ago, Asselton was gunned down while answering a routine call. His death is a tragedy to his community, and officers have not forgotten.
I know he's looking down on us today. He's with us, smiling. It'd be something that he would have done for any of us.
Police officers from across the state took part in a 56-mile ride that brought them from East Hartford to Colchester. Friends say Asselton loved motorcycles. In fact, he had bought a bike of his own just before he was killed. Asselton never did get the chance to ride that bike, so today's benefit was their way of keeping his memory alive.
It's an amazing experience in light of the tragedy of Officer Asselton. To see this kind of a turnout is just a wonderful thing.
Fundraising coordinators were overwhelmed by the number of people that rallied together to support the event. All benefits made today will go toward the Brian Asselton Scholarship Fund. And organizers assure us they'll all be back again to ride next year. Jerry, back to you.
Tonight on NBC 30 Connecticut News at 11.
A murder suspect remains in critical condition tonight after being shot by police in New Haven last night. A Connecticut father and his 2 children are in the hospital after suffering severe injuries during a ride at Riverside Park in Agawam, Massachusetts. And getting people with disabilities the help they need. The amazing success stories of 3 Connecticut men will see you tonight at 11. Monsters are taking over America's children, but these monsters aren't particularly fierce. They're pocket monsters, better known as Pokemon. They're the latest craze among children of almost all ages, and believe it or not, it's a fad your kids can actually learn from. The State Department of Children and Families has seen its share of tragedies. There was the baby Emily case, a 9-month-old baby girl who was raped, beaten, and later died because of her injuries. There were allegations DCF knew that 6-year-old Ryan Keeley of New Haven might have been in an unsafe environment before he was killed last year. And Carmen Jimenez and Luis Ramos were charged with abusing 5 of their 6 foster children. DCF admitted the caseworker made only half of the required visits to the couple's home. So why aren't these children being protected by the state? According to one DCF caseworker, these 2 cases, among others, were overlooked because there are too many cases and not enough social workers.
When you look at some of these tragedies, clearly I think they could be prevented, not all of them, but many of them.
Now the state is taking action. Staffing is going to increase considerably during the next 2 years. More than 200 social workers and support staff will be hired across the state at a cost of about $20 million. And while DCF officials are optimistic about these changes, they still feel more has to be done.
And so while the frontline social worker will be very happy that we are getting new staff, they have to understand at the same time it's very hard to have to train all that staff, bring them in, find locations for them.
However, the state's child advocate, Linda Pierce Presley, says the hiring of additional staff is desperately needed.
Certainly for a caseworker to be able to do a good job, I mean, they need to have a manageable caseload. That's just common sense.
Agency officials at DCF are confident the department can do a better job with the added staff. Although social workers face some challenges ahead, the state has afforded them a major step in the right direction. Jessica Bailey, NBC 30, Connecticut News.